So, let's get started, should we? First thing is the soil. Black gold is my favorite. I've been using it for years for all kinds of plants. And it's just #1 in my book, and a lot of other people's too. So, start with a good potting soil. My choice is black gold. Okay, then next thing consideration is the pot that you're going to be using. The geraniums, they tend to grow pretty fast, so if you're gonna you're probably going to want a larger pot. Here's the problem that you have with a small pot, is they outgrow it real fast. And so we're going to cut this plant down here, take some different size cuttings off of it, and I'll show you how I deal with each type of cutting. Now this one here, the first cutting, I don't know if you can see it, but it was just a little hard. It was what I call a hardwood branch, and it broke off of the not this plant but another one. And so instead of putting it in root-tone, I just put it in a cup of water, just the old standard process of a cup of water, and stick it in there. It's been in there for about a month. It's got decent root structure on it now, and so we're going to go ahead and put that in probably a 6x8 pot. And a couple of these longer ones here I'm going to put in this 10x12 pot down here at my feet. So the next thing that you want to do is get yourself some root-tone or some take root, any of this root stimulant for cuttings. And this is the way I like to do it. So first of all, take and dump some in a baggie. Actually, you can dump it all in, it doesn't matter, because you can dump it back. And it's real powdery stuff. So anyhow, you get it in your little baggie. Then we find ourselves our scissors, excuse me. So what we're going to do is find a nice part of this plant, and the best cuttings for doing root-tone or take root are the greener. You get a cutting with a nice green stalk, and don't go down too much farther than where the green comes to an end. So we're going to go right down here. We cut this one off, and I don't know if you can see, but what we do then is, after we cut the stalk, we take and cut these leaves off. Leave a few on. I'll leave 3 on. Then we'll take it, dunk it down in some water, get it nice and wet. Then you take the root-tone. This is the way I've done it for many, many years. You just take that wet stalk and just powder it up like this. Get plenty of powder on it, and then it goes right down into your potting mix. Okay, when you get a big pot like this, get your bag and just dump it on down in there. Fill it about 3/4 of the way full. Alright, set that aside. Okay, so as you can see, we've got this filled up about 3/4 of the way, and we've got our stalk in here, and we're just going to take and sprinkle it in around it, and kind of let the kind of let the soil fall in around the stalk rather than dumping it onto the stalk. And so put that in around there. And this is going to settle, so come up a little bit higher. Once we get start sprinkling some water in there. It's good to start with your soil mixture a little bit damp, and black gold comes fairly moist, not real moist, but it's just right. So it packs in just right, and you can always put in more as it shrinks down. The main thing is to get it covered up to where the root zone is, and then that's just about perfect. So that's how we do the larger stalks. And again, that's a 10 by 12 pot, so that'll give it plenty of room to grow. So now we're going to go back to this little bugger that I've had in the water for about a month, and this is it. I don't know if you can see the root growth on it real well, but it's got a nice root system on it. So again, we just we're going to go with a 6 by 8 pot for this, and again we fill it up about 3/4 of the way. I guess I don't know if you can see it, but about like that. And again, we're taking just make a little divot out for the root system, and get ourselves a little in our cup, and then we just take our little geranium and put it in our pot. And then pat that down around it. And there we go. So that's a water start and a root stimulant growth start, and that's how it's done. It's that simple. And these things will just take right off. That's what happened with this one over here. It was just a little start, and all of a sudden it grew out of the pot and started wandering away from me. So anyhow, again, here's another small one, and this is kind of how this plant started out, and it's kind of how that little broken stalk one that I just showed you that I just put in started. So again, we have a little short stalk. Now these you can do either way. This is still green, so we could put rootone on it and put it in soil, or we can just do like I did before and just stick it in some water. It'll grow. But I think what we're going to do here, because I've got some pots and I've got the rootone, we're just going to take and rootone this one up too. Here's this short stalked geranium cutting, and again we're just going to take it and dip it in water and just kind of put it in the bag and jostle the rootone, or take root. Schultz's take root is what I'm using here, and again we just get some nice potting soil, and then we With this stuff, you can just take your finger and poke a hole on down, put it in, and then bury that thing right up to the top of the plant. Now on all these, after you get done, you want to take and sprinkle water lightly on them, not too heavy so that it washes it out and washes off the stimulant, the take root or the rootone, whichever you're using. So anyhow, that's it. It's that easy. The next video that we're going to and plant that we're going to propagate is going to be philodendron, and I have those right here are philodendrons that I've had up in the bathroom, and they got all long, and I thought, wow, it'd be cool to have another one. So we cut a bunch of them off, stuck them in water, they're taking root, and we'll get those planted in the next video. Thanks for watching.